So this is a Gavin scooter that I have. This one had a wobbly propeller assembly. So when it's in the water, the prop would be visibly wobbling. You could actually spin the propeller and see it kind of walking around. So I feared the shaft was bent. So I took it apart. And what I found was the pin that drives the clutch, this is the old pin, was actually slightly bent and worn. I feared the shaft and the motor was bent, but I put a run-up gauge on it and it was within half a thou around, so I didn't see that as a problem. So I put a new pin in there. And this is 1/8 by 1 inch stainless steel. So this is the reassembly. So this is the WKPP metal clutch that goes on next, and that pin just drives the clutch from the motor. So you can see if that pin was bent, how this clutch would not run straight. This is, I believe, a Delrin driver plate. And next is the assembly, the screw and Belleville washer assembly that sets the clutch pressure. So I'm reinstalling exactly what I took off as far as order and number of springs. There should be a drop of red Loctite on this screw. So put some Loctite on it. Okay, so some Loctite in the hole there. And this is the spring pack exactly as how it was removed. So try to keep these in order. So as you can see, is a small stack of washers and Belleville washers here. Actually, I'm going to put a little more Loctite on the body of that screw. So as you're screwing this down, you want to make sure this stack is true and it's riding on the collar here, and the collar is straight. And there's a washer on the bottom that sits in a groove in the Delrin. So you want to make sure all these things aren't stacked up strangely. You want to make sure they're all sort of concentric on that shaft. Just before you tighten that up again, you want to make sure that they're all aligned. So we're now compressing the spring pack. And snugging that screw up. Okay. Feels good. Just looking at our washer stack here, it looks like they're all true. And I can tell right away by looking at this that this drive plate is now running truer than before. Before you could see quite a visible wobble in it. Next up, blade assembly. The blades just sit in there. And top hat. Mine has an index mark on it. One scooter I have doesn't have the mark, one does, so I don't know if it's difference in the clutches or not. So I'll align that with the other mark Goes this way. We'll tighten these evenly. And these just thread into the Delrin, so they don't need to be super tight. And finally, the adjuster drive for the prop pitch. So, we're finished here. We should have adjustable props. And we should be free of wobble. Looks good. Now we'll leak check the motor, just because we have put pressures on the prop shaft, the motor shaft. So we'll leak check it or vacuum check it just to make sure the integrity is still there, and put it back in the water.